Before we continue this session, you have already good understanding of PHP, Composer, and MySQL, and the concept of the embassy. If I look at the fresh new website, I'm going to open my Visual Code Editor, Visual Studio Code Editor, and I'm going to open a one fresh project. This is the first project last time I have created. You can see in the Visual Studio left menu there is so many files in here. So I'm going to explain all the architecture of the Laravel, how the all functionality will work, and I will explain about app, bootstrap, config, database, all these things. Okay, so let's go to continue with the F folder. F folder is use 90% of the development purpose. We are using the F folder, and then the next folder is bootstrap. Bootstrap folder, you don't need to change anything. Here is just the f.php. Here is the location of the bootstrap directory, and next here is the config folder. Config folder, all of our configuration in here, like example, authentication, database connection, and all definition in here, all configuration in the config folder. Okay, next I'm going to explain the database. What is inside the database folder, all the related to the database, and also include migration to the database and migration. And here is the, you can see the structure of the data table. That's how is working the database folder. And now I'm going to the next step of the public folder. And public folder is basically working, the public folder contains all CSS, JavaScript file, and images. You can see here is the some folder is index.php. Here is the path of all the CSS and the vendor auto-loaded PHP and the bootstrap. Next, I am going to explain the resource folder. Resource folder contains all project view and some step of the, you can see some CSS JS language. And suppose if you want to add some multi-language in your website, so it's starting from the here. Okay, so let's go to the about the routes, how routes is working in the Laravel. Routes contains of our all the routes in our application routes. There are four files. You can see API. Actually API is calling for the get request from the HTTP, and channel is it's working only for the broadcasting purpose. And the console basically, console is working for CLI command. And web.php, it's basically working managing the routes of the website or something like the software. It's like this. And next step is the storage. Storage contains like image, logo files, and the framework. And you can see here is the log file. If suppose we have any error in our application, it's stored in the log files. And next we are going to discuss the test folder is for the unit test purpose, we using this. And the vendor folder, like the vendor folder is the most important in the Laravel, because vendor folder is creating from the composer.json file. Composer.json is the all the dependency in the composer.json. So when we are going to run the application, and we are going to update the composer update, it means it's all the dependency is in the composer.json. Composer.json is required for the composer. Composer.json is saving all the dependency in the composer. So next step we are going to discuss about the vendor is finished. .env is working for the environment variable. All environment variable is set up in the env. And .env example, it's the copy of the env file. Suppose if you push the project in the github repository, so and .env file will, because .git ignore is you can see if I put this project in the github, so it will not store it in the github. It's that kind of files will skip. So next step is the style.yml. It's the configuration is style software for auto formatted the code. And next one is artisan is a main command line files. And composer.json is the all dependency is here. You can see all the dependency of the project in here. And this is the that was the tutorial in this step. So if you are not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon. So we will next step we will discuss in the next part. Thank you for watching.